Hello students, I am Jasveer Singh. I am the head of Civil Engineering Department in Chandigarh Polytechnic College. I hope you and your family is safe and healthy at your home in this difficult time. In this video lecture, I will give you the overview of the subject which I am going to teach you. The name of the subject is Soil and Foundation Engineering. So I am going to share the screen of slides. So let's start with the PPT. So as we all know, the civil engineering diploma engineers are required to supervise the construction of roads and pavements, dams and embankments and other civil engineering structures, which requires the knowledge of soil and foundation engineering, because every of the structure is going to be founded on soil. So this subject will cover like topics like different types of soil, their selection and their proper use in the field for various type of engineering structure, you can say. So in this presentation, I will be discussing the contents of syllabus briefly to give you an overview of the subject. So the first chapter is Introduction to Soil Mechanics. Before starting it, we must know what is soil. Well, soil has different meaning for different professions. Like for an agriculturist, it is the loose surface on which you can say the plant grows. And for a geologist, it is a material like which is produced as a result of disintegration of rocks, and also which is not has been transported from its original position. And for an engineer, soils are an implemented accumulation, you can say, of minerals or the organic particles which are occurring in the zone overlying the rock crust. That's why for the civil engineer, the study of engineering behavior of different types of soil is extremely important, because the fact that all the civil engineer structures will have to be rested, or you can say founded on the soil. So we will define the soil mechanics. This is a branch of science which deals with the properties, nature and performance of soils, not just as a only construction material, but also as a foundation material. And apart from this, we will also discuss the geological origin of the soil, with special reference to the soil profiles in India only. So as a picture, you may see that first of all, the rocks are disintegrated into different, you can say in soil particles or in the fragments due to the weathering action. Weathering can be physical or chemical. And after that weathering action, the soil is transported from one place to another due to the transportation process. In the transportation process, the transporting agent can be wind, water, and the glacier, this all. And after that, those particles which are transported from one place to another, they get deposited in that place. And when they get depositing in that place, due to the upheaval process, the rock is made in that new place. So in this geological cycle, the rocks are, you can say the rocks are transported from one place to another due to the disintegrating action. And the next chapter is physical properties of the soil. So to identify the physical properties of the soil, we must know what are the components of the soil. So soil mainly contains, you can say, consists or the comprises of three components. First one is air, second is water, and the third one is solid. If these all three components are present in the soil sample, you may say the soil sample is partially saturated. And in the next scenario, you can see that the soil contains only water and solid grains. And in this case, we may call the soil is fully saturated. In the last case, when only air and solid grains are present in the soil, we may say that the soil is dry. And we will also define the important terms required to determine these physical properties of the soils. Those terms are like void ratio, porosity, degree of saturation, and like water content, specific gravity in this chapter. So we will also do some basic numerical problems which are required to determine the physical properties of the soil. Chapter third is classification and identification of soil. So in this chapter, we will classify the soil according to their size and according to their grading and their texture, with the help of various classification systems. As we all see the various types of soils around us like clay, sand, silt, or gravel, etc. So we have to classify those to get an idea about their properties, which are required for the construction purpose, you can say. So in this picture, two systems of soil classifications are represented, which are classifying the soil into different types as per their sizes only. So for instance, IS classification system, in the ICIS classification system, we may see that the size of silt lies between 2 micron to 75 micron. And after that comes sand, which is further classified into three types, which is fine, medium, and coarse. And their sizes ranges from 0.075 to 4.75 mm. And after that comes gravel. The size of gravel lies between 4.75 to 80 mm. And in the last, there comes boulder, whose size is more than 300 mm. And in this chapter, we will also discuss the gradation. Gradation is like defined as the distribution of different size of individual particles which are present in a soil sample. A soil sample can be a poorly graded, it can be well graded, or it can be gap graded. Furthermore, we will also define the Atterberg limits, which are like the measure of the critical water contents of a fine grained soil. So we can say that for a clay soils, we have to identify, we can tell the properties of the clay soil by determining the Atterberg limits of that soil. So chapter 4th is flow of water through soils. In this chapter, we will discuss the flow of water through soils caused by the permeability of soils, which is defined as the property of soil, or by the property by virtue the soil allows the water to pass through its interconnecting voids. So in the simple words, you can say that the more the permeability of the soil, the more the water can pass through the soil. So along with the importance of permeability, we will also discuss the factors affecting the permeability. The factors affecting the permeability can be like the particle size. Like the particle size will be more, the more will be permeability, the more will be voids will be there. So there are other factors like void ratio of the soil, the shape of particles, you can say, and the structure of the soils, and impurity in water present. Like there are impurities like leaves are present in a soil that will cause less permeability of the soil. So apart from this, we will also discuss the various tests to determine the permeability of the soil. Fifth chapter is the effective stress of the soil. As the picture depicts, we may see that the soil effective stress is transmitted through grain to grain at the point of contact, at this point of contact through the soil mass. So it is also known as intergranular stress. It is noted by this symbol, which is shown above the picture, which is sigma. And when you can say the soil mass is loaded, the load is transferred to the soil grains through their point of contact. So we will be also discussing the importance of effective stress in engineering problems related to the soils, and also we will define the principle of effective stress in this chapter. The chapter 6 is deformation of the soil. Deformation of the soils can be due to the compaction and consolidation. So as in the first picture, we can see that in the case of compaction, there is a reduction in volume of the air. So compaction can be defined as it is a method of mechanically decreasing the density of the soil, or reducing the volume of the air to achieve the maximum dry density of the soil. So in the next case, in the next process, that is known as consolidation. In the consolidation, there is a reduction in water voids of the soil. So we will also do the comparison between these both processes in this chapter, and after that we will discuss the types of settlement. The types of settlement, there are three types of settlement are shown in this picture. The first type is uniform settlement. In the uniform settlement, you can say the foundation settlement occurs at nearly at the same rate throughout the all portion of the building, you can say. And the second type is tipping settlement. Tipping settlement is basically where one end, or you can say one end or side of the home or the foundation stays in place, like this end is in place, and the other end or side drops down. but the foundation stays intact. There will be a less harm to the building as compared to this last type of settlement, which is known as differential settlement. The differential settlement can be defined as a settlement in which building support or foundation settles in an uneven fashion, which is causing cracks here. So, which often leads to a structural damage. So, we can say that in this all types of settlement, the differential settlement is most harmful to the building or structure. Chapter 7 is shear strength of the soil. In this chapter, we will discuss the concept and significance of the shear strength of the soil. Shear strength of soil is defined as like the maximum stress the soil can sustain, or the shear stress is acting on a shear slip surface along which it is failing. So in this picture, we may see that there are three types of failure are shown due to the three types of stresses. First type is tensional stress. So the failure will happen like this. And in the next, the compressive forces are acting. Now failure will happen like this in this type of block. And when shear stress is acting, the shear failure will occur along the failure of plane. The two sides of the block or the sample, you can say, will slide along each other along the shear plane. So apart from this, we will also discuss the factors contributing the shear strength of cohesive and cohesionless soils in this chapter. And cohesive soils, like defined, can in simple words, we can say that they are like sticky soil, they are clay soil, for example. And non-cohesive soil is any free type running soil, like such as gravel or sand, whose strength is mainly depends on the friction between the soil particles. And also we will discuss the different tests to determine the shear strength of the soil. We will also perform those tests in lab also. Chapter 8 is compaction of the soil. In this chapter, we will define the compaction and its necessity, or you can say importance. Why compaction is important in the field, or why compaction is important for the structure. So in the previous slide, we have already defined the compaction, which is the method of mechanically decreasing the density, increasing the density of the soil by decreasing the air voids of the soil. So in the picture, we may see that the first, there is a loose soil which has air voids present in it. And in the second block, or you can the scale, there is compacted soil, which is providing improved load support to the building, which is going to be rest on it. So we will also discuss the different factors affecting the compaction of the soils. Different factors can be like the water content, like how much water is present in the soil, and like the amount of compaction, that how much amount of compaction is required with respect to the time. And there comes the type of soil, like which type of soil is going to be compacted, like whether that is a clay or like that is a sandy or a gravel soil. And also the method of compaction, like which method which we are going to apply for the compaction process, whether that is a mechanical or whether that is a manual. So apart from this, we will also discuss the various method and tests to determine the compaction characteristics of soil, and also how we can control the compaction in the field. Chapter 9 is soil exploration. So in this chapter, this is actually related to the investigation of the soil through different methods. Like soil exploration is consists of determining the profile of the natural soil deposits at the site, like taking the soil samples and then determining the engineering property of soils. We can use different laboratory tests, and also we can use some in situ tests also to do the soil exploration. So in this chapter, we will study that how samples are collected in the field, then how they are transported in the lab, like in a very diligent manner, so that the samples get minimum disturbed. So we will also discuss the different stages in this striped investigation or the soil exploration. And after that, in the last, we will see that how preparation of report is done after doing subsoil explorations. And the chapter 10th is bearing capacity of the soil. In this chapter, we will define the bearing capacity, which is the capacity of soil to bear the loads from the foundation. And also we will discuss the factors which are affecting the bearing capacity of the soil. In addition to, we will also discuss the vertical distribution in the soil, and there is a test which is known as standard penetration test, which can be used to determine the bearing capacity of the soil. And in the last, we will also discuss the types of bearing capacity of the soil in this chapter. The last chapter is foundation engineering, which will detail the types of foundation, which are mainly the shallow or deep foundation. You may have studied them in the third semester in building construction also, which are further classified into different types. Like shallow is classified into isolated footing, and then comes combined raft or mat footing, strip footing, strap footing, and deep foundations are mainly classified into well and pile foundation. And deep foundation is mainly used where you can say the bearing capacity of soil is not adequate. And we will also discuss the factors which we have to consider while selecting a type of foundation for a structure. So this is the list of recommended books you may buy for this subject. First is the Soil Mechanics and Foundation, written by B.C. Punmiya. Second is the Soil Mechanics and Foundation Engineering, written by Bharat Singh and Shamsher Prakash. Third is the Textbook of Soil Mechanics, written by S.B. Sehgal. And the last one is the Soil and Foundation Engineering, which is almost as per your syllabus as given by the board, which is written by Jagrup Singh. So thank you. If you have any query, you may mail me on this written email ID, hodcpc@cuml.in.